morning, guys. First of all, thank you so much for just all of the beautiful messages that you guys sent us in the comments on our pregnancy announcement. I did not expect it to be that much of a response. It was just amazing and beautiful and overwhelming and oh my gosh, we're just so excited. I'm so excited. We're just so excited. And it's so much more exciting to be able to share everything with you guys now because it was rough. I literally told everybody that I know in real life the minute that I found out I was pregnant. I think Derek and I took one day, and then it was I toiled with telling you guys for a long time, and I was I'm just gonna wait. And yeah, so it's so amazing to be able to share with you guys now. So let me know anything that you want me to talk about or do videos about. And then I've also been answering a lot of questions on Instagram. So if you go to my Instagram, it's High Carb Hannah, if you don't follow me yet. And then under my highlights, I have a baby highlight, and I've just been putting everything under there. So there's a lot of questions that I've answered on there, our fertility journey questions, and who are asking due date questions, which my due date's March 2nd. So today I'm actually 13 weeks, so I'm actually in my second trimester now, right? Does it start at 13 weeks or does it start at the end of 13 weeks? I think it's my second trimester. But anything like that, I'm just going for a walk. I'm going to work in a minute, and we're gonna show you guys a bit about the tiny house today. I wanted to do I'm gonna show you the design of it because I designed it and I'm really proud of it. And I want to just kind of walk you guys through the design of it and show you it because it's kind of hard to explain in a way, but it's totally different than our other tiny house. It's actually gonna be 2 structures, but it's so different, and it's just we learned so much from living in the other tiny house that I feel this one is just gonna be so much more enjoyable to live in. We're gonna have an outdoor bathroom, outdoor shower, and a lot of the things that we're doing in this tiny house, I'm Derek, why didn't we do this in our last tiny house? We're gonna have a screened in lanai on it and have our couch out there, and I'm why didn't I just don't understand why we didn't do that stuff in our last tiny house. Everything was in one room, and that's what made it just so hard because first of all, our bed was in a loft, which I am not doing pregnant. I'm definitely not doing with a newborn. So our bedroom is going to be a separate structure, a 10 by 14 structure with a bed and a closet in it. And as baby gets older, we're gonna kind of put another kind of addition on it. And yeah, there's just so many things that we're able to kind of do differently because of our previous experience. But I want to walk you guys through it, so I'm just gonna go finish my walk, and I'm gonna go to work, and when I come back from work, I'll give you a little video kind of walkthrough of the design of our tiny house. All right, so this is kind of the base of our tiny house here. We have, like I said, a separate bedroom that's going to be 10 by 14, and our tiny house will be 11 feet wide by 24. Derek will explain more of this later, but this is basically it. It is everything that we need, and we have just learned so much from living in a tiny house prior that I feel we're almost professionals at this point. But we have a really big kitchen, which is important. We have a pantry, kind of just like the pantry that we had in our Arizona house, a walk-in pantry, a big living room area, play area for our kid. We have a little office for Derek, an office for me, and a dining room, which we've never had a dining room. So this is our bedroom. We're gonna have kind of a walk-in closet in here that we can put a dehumidifier in. It's just basically gonna be a bed, and then we'll have a bassinet for baby. And once they get older, we do plan on kind of putting a little addition off of this that will have a door through here to their little bedroom. so that they have their own space for when they're really little, probably till they're like, I don't know, 3 or 4, maybe older. I'm not sure yet, but something like that. And then we walk through this main door, and this is like a screened in lanai that's just going to be off of the tiny house, like the main tiny house actual that's on the trailer. So we have our dining table, which is a big, nice table. Everything, I have all the furniture, and this is all to scale. I measured everything, and everything, like, this is actually how big it is, except for the couch. The couch might be smaller. But we have a little couch area. We just want like a nice comfy sectional to like hang out as a family. I just like miss having a big kind of living sectional space where we can just chill. So we'll have that little area and kind of like a little divider there. Obviously lots of plants. Derek always thinks it's so funny when I like actually decorate these models, but like I need to feel like I'm living in this place. And we'll have a little kind of thing here to like put shoes and coats and all that stuff. Not that we wear coats, but we'll have a sliding door that goes to our kitchen, and we might put like a open window here so that you can like, I'm not sure, but our kitchen is huge, which was really important to me because it just serves as a lot of storage as well. So we have enough space to sit at again. So another seating area on this island, lots of cabinet space, like a full sink. We're going to have a full stove in here, a full double door fridge with an ice maker on it. Like, this is luxury to us. I mean, we'll have a coffee maker. It's just going to be like a very substantial kitchen. And it's basically the entirety of our trailer other than, so this is like the little pantry / Derek really, he wants a desk that he can sit at, which I'll show you my office area later. But for him, it was important to have a big desk and his own kind of like private workspace. And then this is our pantry, which really resembles like the one we had in Arizona. We had this little spot where we had outlets behind like all these appliances, and they just stayed plugged in, and it was so killer. Like, it just helped so much. Here's like another view. And we'll just be able to store so much stuff in this pantry, and just like all our little appliances that I hate taking out all the time and like putting away, like the toaster, the blender, it's just annoying. So it's nice to have a little space where they are. And then from this point, you can see like we're going to have a loft above the pantry office area, which won't be super huge. And we will have stairs to it. And this is going to kind of be like my little office area. It doesn't look insanely decorated because it's just a desk. And then I just put some kids' toys in here because I'm like, it's going to have stairs to it, like I said, and it will be like walled in. So baby won't be able to just like roll off the loft, for anyone wondering. But I'll just have like a little tummy time mat up there, things for them, just so that if I'm working or they're napping, I can have them with me. It's not really going to be like a play. I mean, it might be a play area when they get a little bit older, but obviously like they're going to be tiny for a while, so we'll just be chilling up there. And then we are going to have a tiny little structure that just has a flush toilet in it. Yes, we are having a flush toilet, running water, all the things. And we will just have a little shower off of that. But I'll let Derek explain a bit more, but this is basically what our tiny house is going to look like. It is maximizing the space for what we need, what we've learned. Like, we don't want to have our bedroom in the main house. We don't want to have our bathroom in the main house. But Derek will kind of explain some of this as well. You want to tell them about your trailer?
Well, we're building another tiny house, so we're going down that path.
I haven't even seen this trailer yet.
First time Hannah seeing our tiny house trailer.
I mean, you sent me a picture of it. I just never walked up here to look at it.
So it is the same length as the one that we had in Arizona. It's the same width. I'm actually going to weld more frame onto the sides, so it's going to end up being 10 feet wide.
10 feet wide, how tall?
It'll be like 13 and a half, 14 feet tall when it's all done.
So this is how far off the ground it is? It's pretty high.
Yeah. Well, because this is a deck over trailer, so you don't have to deal with the wheel wells, which is kind of a pain in the ass when you're building. So you lose a little bit of height in terms of the internal height, but you gain a little bit more floor space. So what's going to be cool about this tiny house build is our bedroom is not going to be in the actual tiny house. It's going to be another separate little 10 by 14 structure. After living in a tiny house for like 5 years, we learned some lessons about what are the do's and what are the don'ts, and having a separate sleeping space, especially with a little baby on the way, that's going to be exciting. So what's special about this is I'm not just building it for us, I'm building it for the 3 of us.
Yep.
So we're excited for that.
Your first time building as a dad.
Yeah.
And you're technically a dad right now.
Technically a dad. Dad on the way. Dad loading.
Dad loading.
Dad loading.
It's beautiful.
So if none of this really makes any logical sense from like from the outside looking in, it probably shouldn't. Because that's how life is. Life isn't always logical. It's not always straightforward. Kind of goes on this crazy ass mishmash of stuff. So for us, this makes perfect sense where we're at, and we're excited for the journey.
How much square feet do you think it will be with everything?
Between the 2 structures, it'll probably be around 450, 500 square feet.
Okay, I was way off.
What did you think?
I thought like 700.
Oh, no.
Well, with the loft and then the bathrooms outside. So
10 by 24 is 240, and the bedroom is going to be 140 plus loft. So you're looking at 240, 150, or 240, 140, 380.
Plus the screened-in lanai.
450.
Yeah, and we're also...
And the lanai, too. So there'll be a lanai off, kind of like a screened-in lanai off of one side. So that'll add another...
And the bathrooms outside.
Bathrooms outside. Another big... Another big thing that we learned with the other one is like not having the bathroom inside and having the living quarters mixed and mangled with everything, right? Because it's like you wake up in the morning, you want to make a coffee, you want to do anything in the morning, you don't want to wake up your partner.
Or the baby.
Or the baby.
All right, well, have fun.
I will.
Day 1 of the build starts today.
Day 1 starts today. Got to get her into place and start welding.
I made a ton of food this day. I just felt like cooking so much stuff. So I was prepping the tofu for my summer rolls, and I had them for lunch, and then I made the sauce. And here's a little hack for you guys. So I always just weigh out my sauces like this instead of like getting out all my tablespoons and teaspoons and quarter teaspoons and whatever. I have always put my recipes into Chronometer because when I put them on my website, I have the calories and macros on there for you guys, and that's how I've always figured it out for my website. So all my recipes are in there, so it gives me like the grams and things for everything. So it's just really easy to like do 40 grams of soy sauce and 50 grams of maple syrup and like all those things instead of actually like using a measuring spoon. And another little hack is like if you see a recipe and say you want to use a scale and you don't want to have to like get out every single measuring cup you have in your arsenal, you can just screenshot it and put it into ChatGPT and be like, can you tell me this recipe in grams? You could also say, could you tell me the calories and macros on this recipe? Or could you tell me how much fat is in each serving of this recipe? AI is incredible like that. I have the summer roll recipe on my website, and I call it salad rolls because they're kind of like a salad to me. And I feel like at some point I should make like a masterclass on how to roll these because it's the number 1 comment that I get. But honestly, I think that it's just, first of all, it's getting the right amount of filling in the actual rice paper and then getting the rice paper to the right consistency, because you don't want to wrap it when it's sat for too long because it just becomes like jelly, and you don't want to wrap it when it's too hard either. I've actually timed this for you guys. If you get your rice paper wet, it takes about a minute for it to get to the perfect consistency that you want to wrap it at, but it's also going to depend on like what kind of rice paper wrap that you use. And it just takes practice. I've literally made 1,000 of these summer rolls. So I'll leave the link down below for you guys. Make these if you've never made them. They're legitimately the best thing ever. And if you haven't made them, you are missing out. My hair is so oily. I'm just kind of laying in bed because I just ate and I get really tired after I eat. But I wanted to clarify something I said in my last video. So I said that for me, doing IVF would be the worst case scenario, and that's just because I'm terrified of needles and medication in general. And like even me working with my fertility clinic was just like a lot, even though it was very like smooth and everything worked out really well for us. Like I just don't like doctors. Like people to me that do IVF and couples that go through IVF are like complete badass warrior people. Like hats off to everyone who has ever gone through IVF. It just seems so emotionally and physically like exhausting, and I know how hard trying to conceive is, first of all, but like all of the shots and medications and surgeries and just like all the things that go into IVF. I know that I could do it if I needed to do it, but to me, like it would be incredibly taxing on my body and my mentality, like just my mental state, and it would just be like really a lot for me. To anyone who has ever done IVF, like I did not mean it in a bad way. Like you're a badass. Like it is just such a big thing to go through, and like your babies are so lucky to have you. Like it's just insane how much you go through to have kids sometimes. And then the other thing was somebody or a few people said like, what do you mean you got pregnant on the first try? Like you were trying for years. And I just meant like we got pregnant the first cycle that we did with our fertility clinic, because when I said my fertility clinic said that I had a 5% chance, I meant like they meant that I had a 5% chance per unmedicated cycle, because I didn't do medication. They told me if you do Clomid and you do medication, like your chances go up to like 20%. But my grandma had 12 children. She had 2 sets of fraternal twins, and they just run in my family, and I was terrified to do Clomid or any of those drugs. So I just meant that I got pregnant the very first cycle that we did with my fertility clinic. My fertility clinic, their first course of action, which I feel like is like very standard first course of action for people with going through fertility treatments, is to do IUI. So that's what we did. We did 1 IUI and we got pregnant. But I did do it unmedicated, except for a trigger shot. So I did the trigger shot, and then the next day, I think it was like, I think I did it like the IUI like 12 hours after the trigger shot. But yeah, I'm gonna try and take a nap. And then we'll see what else we get up to. I want to show you guys these like overalls that I got. These are my favorite overalls ever. I got them on Amazon, but they're like stretchy, kind of like they are stretchy, and they're just like perfect. Such good quality. They kind of like cinch at the waist, so they give you like a really good little shape. But I love like all the little detail on them. They have pockets. They're just so cute. Like I got these a long time ago, but I can link them for you guys. They're just, especially if like you garden or anything like that, like they're just so freaking cute. Like I just love them. We're just cuddling. I'm posting in the Transformation Tribe. I post like motivational videos in here, and I also have started posting what I eat every single day. If you guys want to join, I'll leave the link below, but this is my private coaching group. Come join us. It's a good time. We're just killing it in here, and there's just so much support and love, and we're just sitting here. Gonna make some more food soon. I made more cookies today. It's been one of my biggest pregnancy cravings, and these are my healthy chocolate chip cookies. I'll leave the recipe below for you guys. And then for dinner, I made us lentil loaf. I had mashed potatoes, and they were so good. This was the first time I had them after that massive potato aversion. But all these recipes are on my website. The lentil loaf, the potatoes, the instant gravy. So I'll leave that down below. I did eat a bunch of other food this day, but I just can't remember. This isn't like a what I eat in a day. But I'm editing this now and I can't even remember what I ate. But thank you guys so much for watching. Leave any comments or questions down below, and I'll see you next Sunday. Bye.